We're gonna be installing the steering dampener on the RX7. You will see the tools we will need on screen. So the first thing you wanna do is grab the bracket and it will go into the scooter frame. So grab your smaller and thicker bolt on the hardware. The washer should go between the bracket and the actual scooter frame. So screw it in right here. Don't tighten it all the way, just a little bit to hold it in place. Then get the other short bolt, but the thinner one. Screw it with your 5mm hex tool. Make sure the washer goes outside the bracket, like so. Then screw it in as tight as you can. Both bolts, so 5mm one, and the other one will be a 6mm hex tool. Right, the next step is going to be installing the eyelet bolt into this part of the frame right here. So screw it in by hand as much as you can go. Then you can use any tool just to torque it, turn it as much as you can. You have to keep this about the same angle as the front bracket has. That's too tight, so you might have to use a wrench like this, a crescent wrench, to adjust the angle and tighten it as tight as you can, like so. Then get your steering dampener and the bracket, slide it through the steering dampener, and then get your 2 remaining bolts from this hardware, slide it in on the top. Steering dampener has to be on the top, so slide it through. Same on the front side. Grab the 2 remaining nuts, tighten them on both ends. Now you will have to use a 13mm socket and a ratchet wrench and a 6mm hex tool to tighten these two. That's the 13mm, or you can use the crescent wrench. Either way works. Tighten as much as you can, like so. Now this is very important. We have to align that tire, so make it as straight as you can, and make sure the steering dampener is centered. So the best way to tell is to have the same amount of silver rod on both sides, on the back and the front. So make it as centered as you can, and once you have it at the correct position, with a 4mm hex tool, tighten these 2 bolts right here to keep the steering dampener in place. Now lastly, you can adjust the stiffness of the steering. So the higher the number will be the stiffest mode. So just adjust it as your personal preference. That's about it.